Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends. It's your buddy Boogeyman Ben here for a new episode of Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone, and today's video is going to be talking about a Christmas horror classic, one that I have never really talked about on this channel before, and I thought this was the opportune time since we are just a week away from Christmas. Thought it would be kind of fun to talk about some Christmas horror classics. I did this a few years back where I talked about some Christmas horror films that I really liked, but I haven't done something like this in a while. I have a little strange history with this film because I did not see this film until I was in my 30s. I had a friend that I used to work with, a former coworker when I worked in San Francisco, and my friend Sean and we used to talk about horror movies all the time. He loved them, and he kept telling me I needed to watch this film. And this film came out in 1974. A lot of people say that it is actually the film that sort of started the slasher genre, as opposed to Halloween, which a lot of people have said for years is the one that sort of catapulted that genre. Just because of the success of that film, I think that film might have really started the slasher films. But this one, you cannot say that it didn't have a major influence on John Carpenter and that classic film. And of course the film I am referring to is Black Christmas. And it has a fantastic cast. The beautiful Olivia Hussey as Jess. You have Margot Kidder as Barb. You have Andrea Martin as Phil. Kira Duella as Peter. The amazing John Saxon as Lieutenant Fuller. This movie was written by Roy Moore and it was directed by Bob Clark. He would go on to direct movies like Porky's and A Christmas Story. I was shocked that this is the same guy that brought us those two comedy classics. And at first, I have to admit, I wasn't that impressed with Black Christmas. It wasn't what I expected. But over time, and I think it was after I saw the 2006 remake that I was curious to revisit this film. And I revisited it and watched it a couple more times and fell in love with it. It's just a fantastic film. And if people aren't aware about what the plot is about, you have a sorority house during Christmas break, and the house is called Pi Kappa Sigma. The sorority sisters start getting harassing phone calls by this character that is unseen. You never really see this character in the film. As these phone calls start to really plague the sisters, they try to bring the police involved to sort of track down who's doing it, where these calls are coming from. I've always been a fan of Olivia Hussey, of course, going back to when I was a kid and I saw Romeo and Juliet, and she was a knockout in films like Stephen King's It and Psycho 4: The Beginning. And she's fantastic in this as Jess. I just really love her in this film. Also, a big fan of Margot Kidder, and she brings a lot of humor to the character of Barb. This film is very scary, and it's there's just some terrific scenes in it. Even the opening shot, which, you know, is from the point of view of Billy, who is the killer in this film. But what's really different about this film is that you never really see Billy's face. You hear him on the phone, you see him in the shadows, you might see like his eye or his silhouette, but he's always in the shadows. Never get a good look at him, and that just makes for an eerie setting. And there's a couple of classic images, like the one where the woman has been suffocated to death. She has the bag over her head. In fact, it's the original cover right there. That image is creepy as hell. That whole scene, and then just the fact that nobody knows what's going on, and that, you know, you're with Billy, so you know what Billy's doing. And it's really just really well done. Cannot say enough great things about it, and I'm so glad that people are talking about this film now and that this film is getting the notoriety. And I have to say, you know, as much as I love John Carpenter's Halloween, I do feel like Black Christmas is the start to what would become the slasher genre. Of course, it would take 4 years for it to really peak and become really popular with John Carpenter's Halloween, which would come out in '78. But, you know, the fact that this movie kind of laid the groundwork for what John Carpenter would build upon needs to be taken into consideration and needs to be given some praise. This is an absolutely fantastic film. If you haven't seen Black Christmas, I definitely recommend it, especially for this holiday season. If you get a chance, pick up the Scream Factory release. It's a 2-disc special edition, completely worth it. I'm so happy that I have this copy, and it just was released last year. So yeah, go out and pick this one up. Easily, this film, Black Christmas from 1974, gets 5 skulls. So that is my review of Black Christmas. I'm curious if anybody else has seen this film or loves this film as much as I do, or they don't like the film at all. Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from everyone. And stay tuned for some more Christmas horror films that I'll be talking about. Of course, I will be talking about the 2006 remake of Black Christmas. I also have a brand new horror film that I watched that was just released this year starring Dee Wallace. It's called Red Christmas. That one will be coming out as well this week. Please remember to check me out on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. I have the links down below. Subscribe to the channel. I'm really looking to build my subscriber rates. I'm looking to have more people come onto the page. Please, I love interaction, so please share your thoughts with me, reach out to me, and I really want to appreciate everyone who's continued to support this channel. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy, stay scared as always. Peace.